The escape pod hit the swamp water hard. Wu felt his body slam against the safety straps as dirty brown water rushed past the small window. Warning lights flashed red all around him. The pod was sinking fast. He pulled the emergency release and pushed the hatch open. Thick, warm water poured inside. It smelled terrible, like rotten plants and something else he could not name. Wu grabbed his survival pack and climbed out before the pod went under completely. The swamp stretched in every direction. Tall trees with purple leaves grew from the water. Strange vines hung from their branches like green ropes. The sky above was orange and pink, two suns setting in the distance. This was not Earth. This was not anywhere near human space. Wu remembered the attack on his transport ship. Enemy fighters had come from nowhere. His unit had scrambled for the escape pods. He was the only one who made it to this one before the ship broke apart. He did not know if anyone else survived. He checked his supplies. A medical kit, water purifier, emergency rations for 3 days, a combat knife, and his sidearm with 2 extra magazines. Not much, but it would have to be enough. His left arm hurt badly. During the crash, something had cut through his sleeve and into his flesh. Blood mixed with the swamp water dripping from his uniform. He needed to find dry land and treat the wound before infection set in. Wu started walking through the chest-deep water. Each step was difficult. The mud below tried to pull his boots off. Strange insects buzzed around his head. Some of them bit, leaving small red marks on his neck and face. After an hour of walking, he heard something. It was a soft sound like crying. Wu stopped and listened carefully. The sound came from somewhere to his left, behind a wall of thick plants. He moved toward it slowly, keeping his hand on his sidearm. In unknown territory, anything could be a trap, but the crying continued, weak and full of pain. It sounded female. Wu pushed through the plants and found them. 3 women lay tangled together on a small patch of muddy ground that barely rose above the water. But they were not human women. They had fox-like faces with pointed ears that lay flat against their heads. Orange and white fur covered their bodies, though much of it was now dirty and matted with blood. Long tails wrapped around each other as if seeking comfort. Their clothing looked like some kind of armor, but it was torn and broken. Deep cuts marked their arms and legs. One of them had a wound on her side that still bled slowly into the mud. The one who was crying looked up at Wu. Her eyes were golden, like sunset trapped in glass. Fear filled those eyes when she saw him. She tried to move to protect the others, but her body was too weak. "Please," she said in broken common tongue. "Please, no hurt. Sister's injured, we no fight." Wu held up his empty hands to show he meant no harm. He had never seen this species before, but he could recognize suffering when he saw it. These women needed help. "I am not going to hurt you," he said slowly and clearly. "I am a medic. I can help." The fox woman stared at him. She did not seem to believe him. Why would she? He was a stranger and alien to her, covered in swamp mud and blood. "My name is Wu," he said. "What is your name?" She watched him for a long moment, then very quietly she answered, "Sisters RN." Wu moved closer slowly, showing her the medical kit in his hands. "Your sisters are hurt badly. The one with the side wound needs treatment now, or she will not survive the night. Will you let me help?" Tears fell from his golden eyes. She looked at her sisters, both unconscious now, their breathing shallow and weak. Then she looked back at the human soldier who had appeared from nowhere in this terrible swamp. "Why?" she asked. "Why help us? We are nothing to you." Wu knelt beside the most injured one, the one had called. He opened his medical kit and began pulling out supplies. "Because you need help," he said simply. "That is enough reason." He worked through the night. The swamp grew dark and cold. Strange sounds came from the water around them. Wu ignored everything except his patients. His wound was deep, but he managed to close it with emergency stitches and seal it with medical gel. had a broken arm that he set and wrapped tightly. Both of them had many smaller cuts that he cleaned and bandaged. Watched everything he did. She was injured too, but she refused treatment until her sisters were stable. When Wu finally turned to her, she let him clean the cuts on her arms without complaint. "You are strange human," she said as he worked. Wu smiled a little. "I have been called worse. Most species run from, we are warriors, we are feared." "I am a soldier," Wu replied. "I do not run from warriors, and right now you are not warriors. You are wounded people who need help." His ears twitched. It seemed like a sign of confusion or surprise. "You risk yourself. This swamp is dangerous at night. Many predators. You could have left us and saved yourself." Wu finished bandaging her last wound and sat back. His own arm throbbed with pain, but he had ignored it all night. Now the exhaustion was catching up with him. "My mother used to say something," he told her. "She said the true measure of a person is how they treat those who can do nothing for them." He looked at the three Fox sisters, all sleeping now, all alive because of his work. "You could do nothing for me tonight, but that does not mean you deserve to die." Stared at him with those golden eyes. Something changed in her expression. The fear was gone. Something else had taken its place, something Wu could not quite understand. "Human Wu," she said softly, "you do not know what you have done tonight. Among saving a life creates a bond that cannot be broken. You have saved 3 lives, 3 daughters of the Silver Moon clan. This debt is very large." Wu shook his head. "I do not want any debt. I did what was right. Now rest. You need to heal." He finally treated his own wound, then sat with his back against a tree root, keeping watch over the sleeping fox women. The 2 suns had set completely now. Strange stars filled the orange sky. Wu did not know where he was. He did not know if rescue would ever come, but tonight he had saved 3 lives. For now, that was enough. As he drifted into an uneasy sleep, he did not notice eyes open briefly. She watched the human soldier, this strange creature who had appeared in their darkest moment. Her lips moved in a silent promise. The Silver Moon clan would learn of this, and they would repay the debt. Morning came with pale blue light filtering through the purple leaves. Wu woke to find sitting up and staring at him. Her golden eyes studied him like he was some strange puzzle she needed to solve. "You are real," she said. Her voice was soft and weak, but there was strength behind it. "I thought I dreamed you." Wu sat up slowly. His body ached from sleeping against the tree root. His wounded arm felt hot and stiff, but he was alive, and so were the 3 Fox sisters. "How do you feel?" he asked. Touched the bandage on her side. "I should be dead. The blade went deep, but I am not dead because of you." Woke next, followed by, they all looked better than the night before. Color had returned to their fur. Their eyes were brighter, healed faster than humans, Wu realized. "We must move," said. "This place is not safe. The swamp creatures will find us soon." Wu nodded and began packing his medical kit. "Which direction?" Pointed east where the trees seemed less thick. "There is high ground that way. Our ship crashed near there. Maybe the emergency beacon still works." They began walking through the swamp. His broken arm made movement difficult for her, so Wu stayed close to help her over the rough spots. She said nothing at first, just watched him with curious eyes. "You walk like a warrior," finally said. "Always watching, always ready, but you carry a healer's tools." "I am both," Wu replied. "In human armies, many soldiers learn medicine. We call them combat medics. We fight when needed and heal when needed." "This is wise," said. "Healers do not fight, warriors do not heal. Maybe we should learn from humans." The journey took several hours. Wu's arm got worse as they walked. The wound had become infected despite his treatment. By the time they reached dry ground, he was sweating and dizzy. Noticed immediately, "You are sick." "It is nothing," Wu said, "just need to rest." But moved to his side and touched his forehead with her furry hand. He burns with fever. The swamp water poisoned his blood. His ears flattened with worry. He saved us while he was injured. He ignored his own wounds to treat ours. She turned to her sisters. We must find the ship now. There is medicine there. They moved faster after that, with leading and helping Wu walk. The human soldier tried to protest, but his legs were becoming weak. The world spun around him in strange colors. The ship was badly damaged but not destroyed. It lay on its side in a clearing, smoke still rising from one of its engines. Ran inside and returned with medical supplies unlike anything Wu had seen. "Lie down," she ordered him. Wu was too sick to argue. He lay on the soft ground and felt inject something into his arm. Almost immediately, the burning in his blood began to cool. The spinning world slowed down and became steady again. "What was that?" he asked. "Healing serum," said. "It fights poison and infection. Very valuable, very rare." Wu tried to sit up. "You should save it for yourselves." Pushed him back down gently. "You gave us your medicine when you had so little. Did you think we would not do the same?" He stayed lying down, staring at the orange sky above. These fox women continued to surprise him. He had expected them to leave once they were strong enough. Instead, they were using their precious supplies to save him. "Why did you crash here?" Wu asked when he felt strong enough to talk. Sat beside him. "We were running from enemies. Our clan is at war with another clan, the Red Claw. They ambushed our patrol ship. We escaped, but barely. The swamp was the only place to hide. And then you found me." Nodded slowly. "And then we found you, or you found us." Her golden eyes met his. "Human Wu, there is something you must understand. What you did last night, among our people, it creates a bond called soul debt. When someone saves your life at risk to their own, they become bound to you forever." Wu frowned. "I do not want you bound to me. I helped because it was right, not because I wanted anything." "That is exactly why the debt is so large," said. She had moved closer along with. All three sisters now surrounded him, their faces serious. "A selfish rescue creates small debt. A selfless rescue where the savior gains nothing and risks everything. That creates the greatest debt of all." "I do not understand." Spoke next. "We are daughters of the clan leader, high daughters of the silver moon. When our people learned that a human saved us without any thought of reward, while injured himself, while stranded alone on an alien world, they will not ignore this." "What will they do?" The three sisters exchanged looks. There was something in those looks that Wu could not read. Finally answered. "They will honor the debt, in the greatest way our people know." Before Wu could ask what that meant, a loud sound came from the ship. The emergency beacon had activated. Its signal shot into the sky like a beam of red light. "Our clan will come now," said. "Help will arrive before nightfall." Wu felt relief at the idea of rescue, but he also felt something else. Worry. These fox women spoke of debts and bonds and honor. He was a simple soldier who had done a simple thing. He did not want their gratitude. He did not want anything from them except maybe a ride off this swamp planet. "When your clan comes," he said carefully, "I would like to contact human space. My people do not know I am alive. They must be searching for survivors." His ears twitched. "You wish to leave?" "I wish to let my people know I survived. That is all." The three sisters were quiet for a long moment, then reached out and took Wu's hand in her furry one. The gesture was gentle, almost tender. "Human Wu," she said, "you may contact your people, but I think you will find that leaving is not so simple, not anymore." "What do you mean?" Stood and looked toward the horizon, where distant shapes had begun to appear in the sky. Ships, coming in response to the beacon. "You saved the lives of 3 high daughters," she said. "In law, you are now connected to the Silver Moon clan forever. Where you go, we go. Your enemies become our enemies. Your safety becomes our duty." Wu sat up despite his weakness. That is not necessary. I release you from any debt. Actually laughed. It was a strange sound like bells mixed with a bark. You cannot release us, human. The debt does not work that way. It is not about what you want or what we want. It is about honor. It is about truth. You saved us. That truth cannot be changed. The ships grew closer. Wu could see now that they were large and covered with weapons, warships. The Silver Moon clan was not taking any chances. Do not fear, said, seeing his expression. Our people will welcome you. You are a hero to us now. Wu watched the ships descend. He had crashed on this planet alone and wounded. He had saved 3 fox women from death, and now his life was about to change in ways he could not imagine. He only hoped he was ready for what came next. Wu woke in a bed softer than anything he had ever slept on. For a moment, he thought he was dreaming. Then he opened his eyes and saw the ceiling above him, covered in strange symbols that glowed with soft golden light. This was not a dream, this was real. He sat up slowly and looked around the room. It was large and beautiful, decorated with tapestries showing fox warriors in battle. Weapons hung on the walls, swords and spears and things he did not recognize. Everything looked expensive and old. Then he noticed them. 4 warriors stood at the corners of the room. They were tall and strong, wearing silver armor that covered most of their bodies. Long swords hung at their sides. Their eyes, all golden likes, watched him without blinking. Guards, they were guards. Wu's hand moved toward his hip looking for his sidearm, but it was gone. His uniform was gone too. He wore simple sleeping clothes now, soft and white. Do not fear, one of the guards said. It was a female voice, deep and serious. We are not here to harm you. We are here to protect you. Protect me from what? From everything. The door opened and walked in. She looked different now. Her fur was clean and brushed until it shone like copper. She wore a beautiful robe of silver and blue. A small crown sat between her pointed ears. Human Wu, she said with a smile. You are awake at last. You slept for 2 days. 2 days? Wu tried to stand, but his legs were weak. One of the guards moved forward to help him, but he waved her away. Where am I? You are in the Silver Moon Palace, the home of my family, the home of our clan leader. Moved closer and sat on the edge of his bed. My father wished to meet you as soon as you woke, but I told him you needed rest first. Your father is the clan leader. Nodded. My father is Lord Sung-ho, ruler of the Silver Moon clan. And now, thanks to you, you are a guest of honor in our home. Wu looked at the guards standing in the corners. If I am a guest, why do I have guards watching me sleep? They are not watching you, they are protecting you. Ears twitched with amusement. You are the human who saved the clan leader's daughters. Many people wish to see you, to thank you, to touch you. We cannot allow that while you are weak. People want to touch me. Among heroes are treasured. What you did is already a legend. The story has spread across our world. A lone human soldier, wounded and stranded, saving 3 high daughters from death in a poisoned swamp. People are calling you the miracle soldier. Wu shook his head. I just did what anyone would do. His expression became serious. No, human Wu, that is exactly the point. No one else would do what you did. We have studied many species. Most would have walked past us. Some would have killed us for our supplies. A few might have helped, but only after calculating what they could gain. She placed her furry hand on his. You helped without thinking. You risked your life without hesitation. This is rare. This is precious. This is why my people honor you. The door opened again, and entered, followed by more guards. They too looked clean and beautiful, wearing robes of silver. Their wounds were gone, healed completely in just 2 days. He is awake, said happily. She moved to Wu's other side and sat down. We were so worried. You collapsed when our ships arrived. The healers said the swamp poison almost killed you. You saved us, added, and then we almost lost you. It was very scary. Wu felt overwhelmed. These three powerful fox women were treating him like a precious treasure. Guards stood ready to protect him from any danger. He was in a palace, wearing soft clothes, surrounded by luxury. All because he had done what felt right. "I need to contact my people," he said. "My military must think I am dead." Nodded. "My father has already sent messages to human space. They know you are alive. They know you are safe with us. A human diplomat is traveling here now to meet you." "How long until they arrive?" "Several weeks. Human space is far from here." Several weeks. Wu would be staying in this palace for several weeks, with these guards, with these fox sisters, with an entire alien culture treating him like a hero. "This is too much," he said quietly. "I do not deserve this." His ears flattened. "You saved our lives. How can you say you do not deserve thanks?" "I saved 3 people. Soldiers do this all the time. It is not special." The 3 sisters exchanged looks, then spoke, her voice gentle but firm. "Human Wu, let me explain something. Among warriors do not help strangers. We protect our clan, our family, our allies. Strangers are potential enemies until proven otherwise. This is how we have survived for thousands of years." Continued. "When you found us in that swamp, you had every reason to walk away. We were alien. We were unknown. We could have been dangerous. A warrior in your position would have left us to die. But you did not leave," said. "You saw 3 wounded women and you helped. Not because we could help you back. Not because you knew who we were. You helped because we needed help. This concept," she paused, searching for words. "This concept is strange to us. Beautiful but strange." Wu thought about this. On Earth, helping others was considered normal. Good people helped those in need. It was simple morality taught from childhood. But maybe that was the point. Maybe human morality was different from morality. Maybe what seemed normal to him was extraordinary to them. "My mother was a nurse," he said finally. "She taught me that every life has value, that helping others is not a transaction. You do not help someone because they can help you back. You help because it is right." The 3 sisters stared at him with wide golden eyes. "Your mother sounds very wise," said softly. She died when I was young, but I remember her lessons." Silence filled the room, then slowly stood up and bowed her head to Wu, and did the same. Even the guards in the corners bowed. "Human Wu," said formally, "the Silver Moon clan formally acknowledges the life debt owed to you. From this day forward, you are under our protection. Our warriors will guard you. Our resources will support you. Our enemies will be your enemies, and your enemies will be our enemies." Wu did not know what to say. He wanted to refuse, to tell them this was unnecessary. But he could see in their eyes that refusal would not be accepted. This was not a gift he could reject. This was a matter of honor, and honor was everything to these people. "I accept," he said quietly, "but I have one request." "Name it," said. "Teach me about your people. If I am to live among you even for a short time, I want to understand you. Your customs, your history, your ways. Can you do this?" Smiled. It was the first true smile he had seen from her, and it transformed her fox-like face into something warm and beautiful. "We would be honored, Human Wu. We will teach you everything." And so began Wu's strange new life among the fox warriors of the Silver Moon clan. He did not know then how much this life would change him. He did not know the dangers that waited ahead. He only knew that he was alive, surrounded by new allies and ready to learn. The guards stayed at their posts, watching over their human. They would not leave his side for anything. He was theirs to protect now. Forever. 3 weeks passed in the Silver Moon Palace. Wu learned much about them in that time. He learned their language, their customs, their history. He trained with their warriors and ate at their tables. Slowly, he began to feel like he belonged. But trouble was coming. He could feel it in the air. It started with whispers among the guards, then worried looks from the servants, and her sisters became tense and quiet. Something was wrong, but no one would tell Wu what it was. One night he demanded answers. "Tell me what is happening," he said to. They were alone in the garden, surrounded by glowing flowers that bloomed only in darkness. "I am not blind. I see the fear in people's eyes. What are they afraid of?" His ears flattened against her head. "The Red Claw clan has learned about you." "The enemy clan, the ones who attacked you in the swamp." "Yes, they are furious that a human saved the clan leader's daughters. It makes them look weak. Their failure to kill us became a story of our rescue by an outsider." Looked away. "They want to fix their shame. They want to kill you." Wu felt cold fear touch his heart, but he pushed it away. He was a soldier. Fear was just another enemy to fight. "How do they plan to attack?" "We do not know yet, but our spies say a Red Claw strike team entered our territory 3 days ago. They are coming here, coming for you." "Then let me fight. Give me my weapons and let me stand with your warriors." Shook her head firmly. "You are under our protection. We will not let you risk yourself." "I'm a soldier. Fighting is what I do." "And protecting you is what we do." Her golden eyes met his. "Please, human Wu, trust us. My people will not let harm reach you." That night Wu could not sleep. He lay in his soft bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the Red Claw assassins moving through the darkness toward him. His guards stood at their posts, silent and watchful, but would they be enough? The attack came at midnight. Explosions shook the palace. Alarms screamed through the corridors. Wu jumped from his bed as the guards in his room drew their swords. Their faces were calm, but their bodies were tense and ready. "Stay behind us," the lead guard ordered. The door burst open. 3 Red Claw warriors charged in, their red armor dark with shadows. Their swords flashed in the dim light. They were fast, faster than anything Wu had ever seen. But the Silver Moon guards were faster. The first attacker fell in seconds, 2 sword wounds crossing his chest. The second lasted only moments longer, cut down by precise strikes that he never saw coming. The third tried to run, but a thrown dagger caught him in the back. It was over in less than 30 seconds. "Human Wu, are you harmed?" the lead guard asked. "No, I am fine." More explosions sounded from elsewhere in the palace. Screams echoed through the halls. The battle was not over. It had just begun. "We must move you to safety," the guard said. "Follow us." They ran through corridors filled with smoke and chaos. Everywhere Wu looked, he saw Silver Moon warriors fighting Red Claw invaders. The combat was brutal and beautiful, fox warriors moving like dancers of death. Swords clashed. Bodies fell. Blood painted the ancient stone floors. Wu wished he had a weapon. He hated feeling helpless while others fought to protect him. They reached a large hall and waited with a squad of elite warriors. The 3 sisters wore battle armor now, silver and blue, with swords at their sides. They looked fierce and deadly. Wu rushed to him and grabbed his arms, checking him for wounds. "Are you hurt? Did they touch you?" "I am fine. Your guards protected me." Relief flooded her face. But it lasted only a moment before more Red Claw warriors crashed through the windows. This time, Wu watched the sisters fight. Moved like water, flowing around attacks and striking back with deadly precision. Was fire, aggressive and overwhelming, her sword a blur of silver light. Was wind, quick and unpredictable, appearing behind enemies before they knew she had moved. Together the 3 sisters were unstoppable. Enemy after enemy fell before them. Wu watched in awe. These were not just warriors. These were artists of combat. But then he saw it. A Red Claw archer on a balcony above, bow drawn, arrow aimed its back. She could not see him. No one could see him. No one except Wu. He did not think, he just moved. Wu grabbed a fallen sword from the ground and threw it with all his strength. The blade spun through the air and struck the archer just as he released his arrow. The archer fell from the balcony. The arrow flew wide, missing by inches. Everyone stopped and stared at Wu. "What?" he said. "I told you I was a soldier." Looked at the dead archer, then at the arrow that had almost killed her, then at Wu. Her golden eyes were wide with shock and something else, something deeper. "You saved me," she whispered. "You saved me first, now we are even." But shook her head slowly. "No, human Wu, we are not even. We will never be even. Every time I think I understand the depth of your soul, you show me something new." The battle continued for another hour, but the tide had turned. The Silver Moon warriors pushed back the Red Claw invaders, driving them out of the palace and into the night. By dawn, it was over. The enemy had failed. Wu sat in the garden as the suns rose, surrounded by exhausted but victorious warriors. His guards had not left his side through the entire battle. They looked tired but proud. Lord Sung-ho, the clan leader, came to him. He was an old fox, gray fur covering his face, but his eyes were sharp and strong. He bowed deeply to Wu. "Human soldier," the Lord said, "last night you proved something that many of my people doubted. You are not just someone we protect. You are someone who protects us. My daughter lives because of your quick eyes and strong arm." "I did what anyone would do," Wu said. Lord Sung-ho laughed. It was a warm sound, like a father laughing at a child who does not understand their own worth. "You keep saying that, and we keep telling you that you are wrong." The old fox placed his hand on Wu's shoulder. "Tonight we feast in your honor. Tomorrow we discuss something very important, something that will change your place among our people forever." Wu wanted to ask what that meant, but the Lord walked away before he could speak. Sat down beside him. She leaned against his shoulder, a gesture that felt strangely natural. Her fur was soft and warm against his arm. "You threw a sword and killed an archer at 50 meters, she said. "Where did you learn to do that?" "Training luck, I do not know. My people train their whole lives and cannot make that throw. You did it without thinking." Her ear twitched against his cheek. "You are full of surprises, human Wu." "Is that a good thing?" Smiled, "It is the best thing." They sat together and watched the suns rise over the palace. Behind them, warriors cleaned the blood from the halls. Ahead of them, new challenges waited. But for now, in this quiet moment, there was peace. Wu did not know what tomorrow would bring. He only knew that he was no longer alone. He had found a pack, and they would protect each other forever. The great hall of the Silver Moon Palace had never been so crowded. Thousands have filled the space, from the lowest servants to the highest nobles. They stood shoulder to shoulder, their golden eyes all focused on one spot, the raised platform where Lord Sung-ho sat on his throne. And beside the throne, looking uncomfortable in formal robes of silver and blue, stood Wu. "People of the Silver Moon," Lord Sung-ho announced, his voice carrying across the silent hall. "You all know why we gather today. You know the story of the swamp. You know what this human did for my daughters, what he did for our clan." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Wu caught pieces of conversation. "The miracle soldier. He saved the high daughters. He killed the Red Claw archer with a thrown sword." "Today," the Lord continued, "we honor that debt. Today we do something that has not been done in 300 years. Today we welcome an outsider into our clan." The crowd erupted in gasps and whispers. Wu felt his heart pound faster. He did not know what this meant, but it sounded important, very important. Lord Sung-ho stood from his throne. He was tall despite his age, his gray fur making him look like a wise elder from ancient stories. He walked to Wu and faced him directly. "Human Wu," the Lord said formally, "you saved 3 daughters of the Silver Moon. You risked your life for strangers. You showed courage, honor, and kindness that amazed our people. The High Council has made a decision." Wu swallowed hard. "What decision, my lord?" "We wish to adopt you into the Silver Moon clan, not as a guest, not as an ally, as family." Lord Sung-ho's eyes were warm but serious. "This is a great honor. No outsider has been offered this in 300 years, but it is also a great commitment. If you accept, you become one of us forever. Our blood becomes your blood. Our home becomes your home. Our enemies become your enemies." The crowd was completely silent now. Every ear was turned toward Wu, waiting for his answer. Wu thought about his life before the crash. He had been a soldier in a human army, fighting in a war he did not fully believe in. He had no family waiting for him back home. His mother had died years ago. His father had left when he was young. The military was all he had. But here, among these fox warriors, he had found something different. He had found purpose. He had found people who valued him not for his rank or his kills, but for his heart. He had found sisters who cared about him and guards who would die for him. He had found a pack. "I accept," Wu said clearly. The crowd roared with joy, stamped their feet and howled in celebration. The sound was overwhelming, a wave of happiness that washed over Wu and made his eyes wet with tears he did not expect. Lord Sung-ho raised his hand for silence, then let the ceremony begin. What followed was the most meaningful ritual Wu had ever experienced, and came forward first. Each of them cut their palm with a small ceremonial knife and let 3 drops of blood fall into a golden cup. Then they handed the knife to Wu. "Your blood must join ours," explained softly. "This is how we become family." Wu cut his palm without hesitation. He let his human blood drop into the cup, where it mixed with the blood of the 3 sisters. A priest came forward and poured sacred water into the cup, then spoke words in ancient that Wu did not understand. "Drink," the priest commanded. Wu drank. The mixture tasted like copper and honey and something else, something electric that tingled through his whole body. "It is done," Lord Sung-ho declared. "From this day forward, human Wu is Wu of the Silver Moon. He is brother to my daughters, son of our clan and warrior of our people. Any who harm him harm us all. Any who honor him honor us all." The crowd cheered again, but this time they did not just cheer, they chanted his name. "Wu, Wu, Wu." The sound filled the great hall and spilled out into the city beyond. Later that night, after the feast and the celebrations, Wu sat alone on a balcony overlooking the city. The 2 moons of this world hung in the sky, casting silver light on the ancient buildings below. Somewhere in that city, thousands were celebrating his adoption. His adoption. Footsteps sounded behind him, and joined him on the balcony, sitting down in a circle with him at the center. "Brother," said with a smile, "that is what we can call you now, Brother Wu." "It sounds strange," Wu admitted, "but good strange." Laughed, "You are stuck with us now, no escape. We are your sisters forever." "I do not want to escape," Wu said honestly. "This is the first time in my life I have felt like I belong somewhere." Reached out and took his hand. Her furry fingers wrapped around his human ones, warm and gentle. "We felt alone too before you came. 3 sisters always together but somehow still lonely. Then you appeared in that swamp and everything changed. I was just trying to help. And that is what makes you special," squeezed his hand. "You do not try to be a hero, you just are one, naturally, without thinking." They sat together in comfortable silence, watching the moons rise higher in the sky. A messenger arrived and informed them that a human diplomatic ship had finally arrived. Wu's people were here to see him. "Will you leave?" asked quietly. Wu thought about the question. A month ago, his only goal was to return to human space, to go back to his old life, his old war, his old loneliness. But now, "I will meet with them," he said. "I will tell them I am alive and well, but I will not leave. My home is here now. My family is here." The 3 sisters beamed with joy, hugged him from one side, hugged him from the other, simply smiled, her golden eyes bright with happiness. "Then we should tell you something else," said. "The High Council has given you a gift. Besides the adoption, besides the family bond, they have assigned you a permanent honor guard. 20 of our finest warriors, sworn to protect you for the rest of your life. 20 warriors, that seems excessive. You saved 3 high daughters and killed a red claw assassin with a thrown sword during a battle. Nothing is excessive for a hero like you. Grinned, a playful expression that made her look younger. Get used to it, brother. You will never be alone again. Wu looked at his 3 sisters, at the beautiful city below, at the moons above. He thought about the strange path that had brought him here. A crashed transport, a poisoned swamp, 3 wounded fox women. And now a family, a home, a purpose. He smiled. I think I can get used to that. The next day, when he met the human diplomats, he introduced himself differently than he ever had before. My name is Wu, he said. Wu of the Silver Moon clan, brother to and warrior of the people. The diplomats stared at him in confusion. But behind him, 20 elite fox warriors stood at attention, ready to protect their human brother at any cost. And beside him, 3 fox sisters smiled with pride. This was his life now, strange, wonderful, and full of purpose. Wu had gone looking for rescue. Instead, he had found something better. He had found home,